Good day, 12 Bears.
Hello, everyone. Today we're going to have fun. I've been so serious on these last videos. I said, you know what? We need to have some fun, babe. Let's talk about something fun. So today we are going to talk about top 10 types of expats living in the Philippines. Now, this may apply to you if you're living here already, and this may not apply to you. But we just thought we'd put together a top 10 funny kind of list of expats we believe that live here. So with that said, let's get going. The top 10 types of expats that live here in the Philippines.
Okay.
All right, babe.
Do the honor, my love.
All right, babe. Let's start it out. Cup of coffee first. All right, I'm ready. Number 1, we have the James Bond expat. I'm going to read this to you, all right? And tell me if this applies to you if you're living here in the Philippines. If not, maybe it may apply to you if you're going to move here. The James Bond expat. Those who have stockpiled Viagra ready to party to the early light. These are the expats who show up to the bar with multiple girls, a girlfriend every week, and living every man's dream. Is that a fact? That is the truth. You may say, Andrew, that's not true. That's fantasy. There are no expats over there living that kind of life. Oh, no, contraire. I have a personal buddy of mine who's a Navy buddy who, when we went to Fields Avenue, we went to Angeles City, who lives in Angeles. We were on Walking Street, and we were walking down Boulevard. He had no clue. I knew he was living in Angeles, but I had no clue where he lived or where. We didn't even contact him. We were walking down the street one day. I looked into a bar, and lo and behold, there was my friend in there playing pool in one of the bars. I walked in. I said, Taco. Ooh, I said his name out loud. Taco, if you're listening, sorry, buddy. But my friend Taco was in the bar with a girl, and he was playing pool, and I was like, man, we shook hands, hugged. We were like, hey, man, what's up, buddy? So I started talking to my friend, and he had this girlfriend, and he was talking about, man, I'm loving the life. He's not married. He's never getting married. And every month he sends me a picture of a new girlfriend he has. Man, this guy has a new girlfriend all the time. So he's living the life. As a matter of fact, he would come to visit us here when we were in Tagaytay. And what would he have, babe? He would have a new girlfriend.
A new girlfriend.
He would have a new girlfriend. So, yes. So that type of the James Bond expat exists here in the Philippines.
The next
number
one
2,
is
babe.
the bad business expat.
We have those.
Those who have tried to start a business in the Philippines, but only to find themselves broke and moving back to their own country.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you, there are those guys, and we've seen a few that come through. They try to start their own business, and then they run out of money, and they go back to their home country. As a matter of fact, I had one expat, when I barely moved here, he said there are 3 things not to do.
Yeah.
He said, don't start a business, don't get married, and what was the third one, babe? I forgot.
Don't have a business, don't get married, don't buy property.
And don't buy property. That's right. So that was his advice to me when I just moved here. And so we've seen it a few times. You know, if you start a business here, there's a high probability that it may not succeed. So be aware of that. If you're one of those who are here in the Philippines that has happened to, or those who maybe want to come here to the Philippines to start a business. So you have the bad business expat. That's the truth. Number 3, you have the vlogging expat. Kind of applies to us a little bit, right? This expat who enjoys sharing his exciting life in the Philippines with the hope of you getting jealous knowing you have not reached retirement age to move here. But most of them are giving helpful advice. Sounds like us, babe. It's a little bit of us. So you will find a lot of vloggers here in the Philippines. I heard somebody say that there's a lot of vloggers in the Philippines. There really is. Sometimes you'll run into them. You'll be vlogging yourself here in the Philippines, and you'll run into another guy holding his stick and vlogging for himself. So very common here in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, when we go do our vlog, what do we see? That like if we see the kids, what do they say?
They always say, "Oh, vloggers, vloggers,"
and they'll say bloggers, right? Because they don't say vloggers. It'll be like bloggers, bloggers. The kids will just they'll just scream. So yeah, you'll see a lot of expats here are bloggers or vloggers, however you want to say it. So very common here. Where are we at there?
4. The truly, madly, deeply in love expat.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. This expat has sold everything and moved to the Philippines to be with the woman of his dreams, only to find out that he has been scammed. Oh no.
Yep.
Moves back to his home country and now trolls the vlogging expat in the Philippines about how bad the Philippines.
That is the truth. And I swear I've gotten a few of those messages from guys who were here in the Philippines, fell deeply in love with a woman and were angry because it didn't work out, went back to their home country, and now they are trolling us guys who are blogging.
And then accusing Filipinas of this and that.
Yeah, and just, sending angry messages here to the Philippines like, oh, the Philippines is horrible, but I don't know. Maybe you fell in love with some lady here that didn't work out and you went back to your home country. So you might have those kind of expats. All right. Where are we at here?
5.
Number 5, the traveler expat. The expat who will live in the Philippines for a few months, has a relationship with a Filipina, tours the country, then decides to break up with her because he wants to move to another country because he is a traveler in his soul, but then decides he had a better life in the Philippines, moves back, and dates other Filipinas again. Yes, we have those kind. Yeah. We have guys come here, they say, I'm going to make the Philippines my 6-month home port. I'm just going to get an apartment here for those 6 months, and I'm going to travel around the world, all of Asia. I'm going to go to Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and then Philippines is my home, right? Home base. And then they do all this travel. They have a girlfriend, Filipina girlfriend, and then they break up with them. They go to the other country. They stay there a little bit. And you're like, man, I miss the Philippines.
Come back.
And then they come back, and then they date again. I don't know if they go back to the same girl they had. Then they get a new girlfriend, and then they end up staying here in the Philippines happily ever after. So yes, we had those traveler guys who think I'm going to travel around the world and may not just be Southeast Asia. A lot of times they want to travel all around the world, but once they get to the Philippines, that gayuma sets in, they fall in love, and it's just hard to say goodbye because the people are so nice, the food is so good, and the love is very strong. So we have the traveler expat.
Okay, next on the list, the monk.
Number 6. Number 6.
The monk expat. This expat wants nothing to do with anyone from his own country and prefers to live a life of solitude.
Oh yes, I think a few days ago I met this certain gentleman. The other day when I told you we were in KFC, this gentleman was in front of us. He turned around. He just looked at my shoes, didn't say hello. And he turned back around and he ordered his food and he walked away. Didn't say hello to me. I was about to say hello. Hello, sir, but he didn't give me an opportunity. You will find a lot of these kind of expats. These are guys I call monks because they don't want to be bothered. And so you'll say hello. I've had a few guys, you say hello to them, they look at you and they just turn around and walk away. So I go, okay, you don't want to talk to me. I'm a fellow American. And so, okay, what can you do, right? They want to be left alone. They're monks. They just want to go somewhere, be left alone. So yes, you will find the monk expat here who wants to be totally left alone from his countrymen, and he just wants to live his own life.
Okay, number 7.
Number 7, the sports and beer expat. This is one of my favorites. These expats are social butterflies who want to always hang out with other countrymen because only they could appreciate a game of football on the television. This is the truth. There are a lot of bars here, a lot of resto bars here that will play the soccer game, what I call soccer, which is football internationally, and they love to hang out with other guys from their country because they could appreciate the game of football. I don't really get into soccer, but a lot of these guys, soccer is life. Like for me, American football, basketball, and baseball is life. But for these international guys, they love their sports. They love their beer. So they like to go hang out in bars and hang out with their buddies that are from their country, and they're social butterflies when it comes to them joining forces together and cheer for their team. So yes, we have the beer, the sports and beer expat. Yes.
Yes. And number 8, the city expat. So this expat has only money
Unlimited.
compared to the average expat. This expat never wants to venture outside the city limits of Manila unless it's a trip to a 5-star resort in the Philippines.
Oh yes, we have these kind of expats. These expats don't want to get their fingernails cut. They don't want to get dirty. They don't want to hang around some of the, more shady areas they believe of the Philippines. They would rather live in the city where they have nice sidewalks, nice restaurants. I'm not blaming them. They have the money to live because it's not cheap to live in Manila, right? So you got these guys who have only money. Hey, I would too. If I had only money, I'd probably live in the city and live the high life, right? They have the best condo. They get to the best restaurants, eat the best food, and they like to travel from the city to their resorts, or they stay here and they travel to the other parts of Southeast Asia. So I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They have the money. I'd live the high life too. So you have the city expat, yeah.
Okay.
So number 9, we're almost there. 2 more to go. Number 9, the budget expat. So on the flip side of the city expat, you got the budget expat. This expat has watched too many, quote unquote, you can live on this amount in the Philippines videos on YouTube. Yes, we have those who have watched too many YouTube videos of vloggers here telling them, you can live on $900, you can live on $500, but you're just surviving. So they're telling everybody, yeah, you can live on that amount. Come to the Philippines. And I don't think they're telling them to come to the Philippines, but they're saying you could live on that budget, but it may be a Filipino budget. And that's usually what the YouTube vloggers say, but they take it completely different. These expats come here on the most lowest budgets that they have, thinking that they could survive on those budgets.
They can afford it.
They can afford it. And sometimes they go broke. And sometimes, they just go broke. And then they end up going back to their home country. And from what I heard, some of the embassies, I don't know about, I think the U.S. Embassy does this, but if you run out of money and you go to the U.S. Embassy and tell them, I have no money, they will get you a plane ticket to go back home to the home country, go back to America. But you are kind of like blacklisted. You are not allowed to come back to the Philippines. So be aware of that. I've seen that. I've heard of that. So yeah, you have on the flip side of the city expat, you have the budget expat who thinks he can live here for $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. So the last one, babe.
Yes,
number 10.
The last but not the least, the family expat. Okay, this expat is a super dad. Woo woo. He loves family activities with his wife and children and prefers a simple life.
Yes. And I fall in that category. Yeah, babe. I just want to have a simple life with my wife and my family, enjoy the friends that are around us, and just have a simple life. So I guess part of us is what? The vlogger? The vlogger expat and the family expat. And that's the kind of expat I believe that most of us are here in the Philippines are. We just want to enjoy our families, have a good life, and that's about it.
Enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy our retirement because we earned it, right? So we just thought we'd share to you the top 10 expats we believe that live here in the Philippines. If you don't agree, that's okay. This was all in fun. We were just having fun, and we said let's do a top 10 of the different types of expats
here in the Philippines.
We believe that live here. Yeah, so.
Mhm.
Where do you guys fall on that? Those who live here in the Philippines, you expats, are you any part of these top 10?
Or do
Let
you
us
have
know.
any,
Or do you have another, or do you
are?
have a number 11, number 12 that you have that we're missing, right? Tell us the different kind of expat that we're missing. And all you guys who are planning on coming to the Philippines, where do you fall in this top 10? Are you one of these top 10 guys? Man, if I was a single guy, I'd love to be like my friend in Angeles City, man, living the life with all those ladies. But I don't know what kind of expat are you going to be when you move here and retire. So let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. We thought we'd do a little fun video just to have fun, right? More fun in the Philippines. That's what they say, right?
That's right.
So we hope you enjoy the video. We hope you have a good evening. And so we're about to finish our coffee here. Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
What kind of expat are you? Please like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.